What's going on YouTube? It's Jose, aka KJ Lane Vision. I'm back with another video. Sorry I've been gone. Sorry I didn't come back when I said I was. The big issue is I've been moving. You know, took a while to get that situation handled, house hunting, still trying to figure that out and the moving process. And so I'm in a temporary office right now. So things is just, you know, I had a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And then I had a neck injury. So I ain't even been into the gym, any of that. Things just, you know, had a lot going on. But anyways, as you can see by the title, I'm here to tell the truth. I'm here to tell a story. I'm here to tell what took place. The reason for this video, on why this video exists, is because of a statement that was said on somebody's YouTube channel. And matter of fact, I'm just gonna play the clip right now.
You know, 1 year it was with my former partner, and then he left me. He jetted, and I absorbed. That was another thing that was stressful, right? Because I absorbed, you know, about $3,000. No, it was over. It was $3,700 worth of debt, and that was tough. You know, that was another tough thing. But maybe we'll get into that a little bit more in a future podcast or something. But
so that statement alone is false. Now, I didn't even want to do this video, okay? First off, I didn't. I actually reached out to the person in the video. Some of you guys may know this is my old business partner. Some of you may not know. So when he says his partner jetted on him, he's referring to me. Now, again, I didn't want to create this video. Because the person in the video was more than just a business partner to me. Even to this day, I thought they was more than just a business partner. We just been on two separate paths. You know, I haven't really been around anybody as anybody at all. Like, so, damn sirens. So I haven't really been around a lot of people at all. I haven't been, you know, you can ask Prince Hamilton. I haven't even really been around him a lot. I haven't been around a lot of people. I've just been focused on me, especially with the retirement of the videos. And even before that, had a lot going on with shooting music videos. And I just been focused on my goals at this point in time. But so I reached out to this person, text messages here. I let them know, hey, we need a link soon. Because it wasn't even about no drama, no beef, no none of that. It was just, yo, we need a link so we can talk, find out what's going on. You know, we ain't talking a minute. So he did call me back that day, and I missed his call. So I called him back shortly after that. But he did leave me a voicemail when he called. And I could tell straight from the voicemail that this isn't the way I'm predicting this is going to go. I can tell it's already going to go this route on why I'm having to create this video. But he pretty much states, what do you want to talk about? This is Dre. I got your number saved. I know who it is. And I know your voice. But anyways, he says, what do you want to talk about? Hit me back. In my text message, as you can see, all I said was, yo, we need a link soon. I didn't say we need to talk, nothing. So the fact that you're asking me, what do you want to talk about, tells me you don't want to talk to me. You got an issue. And you probably already know what I want to talk about. So I called him back and said, yo, what's so good? And so I missed your call. He's like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? I said, yeah, we need a link soon. And he was like, to talk about what? I was like, we just need a link. And he kept pretty much asking me to talk about, well, bro, we just need a link. And he said, well, what's your schedule like? I said, I'm free any day after 3, Monday through Friday, and always free on the weekends. And then he said, all right, let me get back to you. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Now, this was last Tuesday. Today is September 1st. So I don't know what last Tuesday was, you know. So it's been a week, and I haven't heard back from him. So I just got to tell the truth now. Since I try to reach out to you and talk to you in person to figure out what the issue is, and you failed to get back to me, I just got to create my own video. And you know, you're a person who used to call me brother. You used to tell, you know, we was bros. We was more than friends. We was more than business partners. So the fact that this is where we at kind of tells me that those words you were saying don't mean anything. That you just kind of throw those words out to anybody that you're cool with at the moment in time. Because people I call bros, like Prince, we've had many falling outs. We've had many disagreements. We've had many times where it was discussed we weren't going to do business together anymore. But that was still my bro. So that means the next day, we were still around each other. We were still talking to each other. You know, there's been times me and him was ready to step outside and swing on each other. Good thing those times never happened. But that's how deep it was. And that's still my bro. We still talk to this day, you know, and if we have the time, we link. And if we got issues with each other, we pick up the phone and we have these conversations. Why? Because when we use the word bro and brother, we mean those words with each other. That's why I try to reach out with you first and have this conversation. But anyways, I'm going to tell this story from when it all started. So, when Dre had his back surgery, we started having a conversation. I can't recall if he was at home or still in the hospital, but we was texting and we talked about, you know, we had already been doing Flight 89 podcast for some time. It was on hold because he had his back surgery. Me and Prince may have done, you know, a couple of episodes while he was gone, but it wasn't consistent because Dre wasn't there to do his back surgery. At that time, as if you followed the podcast, you know it was done either in his living room or my living room at the time. And we constantly had to tell families to leave or be quiet so we can record this podcast. And so we were talking about how we could take this to the next level and eliminate that on our families if we just had an office. And when we talked about this office, we decided, nothing was for sure. We decided to just go search and see what was out there. So we decided to go search and see what was out there once he was able to get on his feet. We also talked about if we were going to do it this way, we were going to turn this into a legit business. And that's a big reason why Lane Vision Media Arts turned itself into an LLC. Before this office existed, we weren't an LLC. We were just a company claiming we weren't a company. We were just people claiming to do things as a business, but we weren't a legit business. We weren't a registered business. And so we decided to turn it into a legit business. We said we were going to make this about business. And because when we found the office, they told us we didn't need to be a registered business to get the office. So there was no point in doing it just for the office. We did it because we both agreed we were going to turn this into a legit business. So if we were going to get an office. So we were searching and we ended up finding the place that we went to. We went and checked it out and we negotiated and we ended up getting a deal that was hard to walk away from. And so we decided to sign a 2-year agreement in that office. Again, with the stipulations that we would turn it into a legit business. So we paid 50-50 to get all the paperwork, turn ourselves into an LLC, got everything done, and we continued to do it. So we started producing podcasts for people. We turned my video production company into the company. During this time, Dre also stated, because he was DJing at a bar named Sue, I believe he still DJs to this day. He stated that he was going to start getting Tyson, who works at a bar named Sue, to make the checks out to Lane Vision Media Arts, which never happened. And the money that came from DJing never got deposited into the account. He may have used some of the money that he got paid from there to cover his half of the rent, but nothing extra at that time got deposited into the account. Also, I made sure that every penny I made from Lane Vision as a film company, music videos, got deposited into their business account. I made sure that anything that was Lane Vision got deposited into the business account. I didn't withhold nothing. I can pull up the bank statements and show all the deposits I made of cash into that account. Which Dre never put anything in there besides his half of the rent. During that time, so that's the first thing that he said he would do that he did not do. But never once did I bring it up. Never once did I complain. Never once did I say, hey, where's the money from your DJ? I just let it go. Like, you obviously need it for your family or whatever the case. Do what you got to do. So there was one thing that Dre didn't do. During this time of, becoming a business, I had to basically get on Dre constantly to start learning better programs to edit, like Adobe Premiere at the time, because he was using a cheap, easy program that the quality was not quite there. And you could see the quality difference between when I would edit the podcast videos and when he would. And so because I wanted the quality to be high, especially because now we're running a legit business and we want people to come to us to produce their podcasts, we need high quality all the time. We have to be consistent. So for a long period of time, I was doing all the work. I was doing all my videos. I was doing editing all the podcast videos. I was helping the clients that we were producing, creating 2 websites for actually 3 websites, 2 for Tyson from A Bar Named Sue, that I will admit Dre did get that client. But I did all the work. Dre never helped me once on those designs, and maybe he would have if he knew how to do it, but he didn't. So unfortunately, I had to do all the work. We also got a client that I had got with CEL, designing their website and their whole IT service, which we brought underneath the brand, and I did all the work for. He never did anything. So I'm like work overload, and it took several months of me pretty much like, Dre, like, are you going to learn this program so you could help? Are you going to learn this program so you could help? You got to learn it. By the time we got to close to me wanting to leave, I was burned out. And yes, he did finally learn Premiere, and I created him a template so that he can edit the podcast super easy. And yes, he eventually did learn and start helping, but I was completely burned out. So that was a big issue I had. 3, another issue I had is, shout out to the Young OGs. They were a podcast that we were helping. They were using our studio, and we were recording for them from time to time, not all the time, but they would do episodes there. Again, this is a client that Dre brought into. The issue that I had with this is that Dre brought this client in, and we would show up together to do the work. I would do the video work, Dre would do the audio work. But this is a client that comes in, they bring guests, they want to mingle after, and Dre would always just dip as soon as it was recorded because he had a family. Like, I didn't have a family. I didn't have kids to go home to. But I can't just leave these clients in here. And, part of running a business is customer service and giving them that opportunity to interact with their guests and have that time. And so I would always have to stay and wait till they were done for me to leave. And I had to drive all the way back to Ogden from North Salt Lake. His drive was much shorter, but he would always leave. And it's like, this is your client. This is the client that you brought on, but I'm the one always staying with them. So it's like, come on. Then we started creating other segments with branched off the Flight 89 podcast. And he did an episode from one of those branched off with a rapper out here who, I have no problems with. But at the time, I just didn't feel like it was good for the brand when it came to our sponsors, because we did have sponsors. And I just didn't agree with it. I informed him, hey, I don't know if we should do this. We got sponsors. I don't know how they're going to feel about this. I understand this is your homie, but, we are running a business here. And I think that's where me and Dre, like I stated on an interview I did before, me and Dre just, I understand our tagline was dedicated to the creator. And yes, we needed to be dedicated to the creator, but we also needed to be dedicated to our business as well. You know, we're running a business. Again, we're not just doing this out of our house. We're not just doing this for fun anymore. We have overhead, and that was something Dre didn't understand, which it's not a bad thing. He just didn't know. I was there once when I first got into business and didn't understand these things. And I had many businesses fail because I didn't understand those businesses. That's not me trying to down talk Dre or anything like that. That's just me saying it is what it is. And we have to learn, you know, just because somebody doesn't know something doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make them dumb, doesn't make them stupid. It just means they don't know and they need to learn. We all are like that about every situation. When I first picked up a camera, I didn't know how to use it. That made me dumb, stupid? No, it just means that I needed to learn how to use it. And that's where Dre was at that time. And he didn't understand that we are not just running a creative hobby. We're running a creative business. And he decided to still shoot the video, still release it, and we ended up losing a sponsor over it. And when I called Dre to inform him, yo, we lost the sponsor. This is, again, a sponsor that I had before this business. This was a sponsor that I had from my YouTube channel. And I had brought it up to Dre about getting them to sponsor the podcast and bring them to sponsor the business. And he agreed. And we did that. We brought them on. And they dropped the business and they dropped me because of that video. Because the artist may or may not in the past have been associated to a gang and still somewhat repped it, even though the gang is trying to be on a more positive thing. You know, we also have to understand that the rest of the world doesn't always see it that way. And sometimes if we're going to do things a certain way, we have to make sure that we do it the right way to ensure we don't lose sponsors, to ensure that. And Dre was not on the same page. He just wanted to do it and get it released. And maybe because it was his homie, I don't know. But that's the decision he made. And when I called him to let him know that we had lost the sponsor, I didn't get a my bad, I know that was your sponsor before, like apologize, you know, this is why I want to do it. He was just like, okay. And again, you say we brothers, and this is what you do to your brother. Like if I caused my brother to lose money, to lose something he worked hard, I would apologize. Like, my bad. Like, is there anything we can do to fix it? Is there, you know, or what can we do? He was just like, okay. And so when I heard that, I was like, wow. Like in my head, I was like, wow. And so the conversation ended, and I thought about it for a few days, and I decided, like, I need to focus. I'm focused on a business that I don't have a business partner that's as focused as me on the same vision. Like, I'm trying to build a business and a brand, and Dre just wants to create. And I get that. Again, nothing wrong with that. Not a bad person. Dre's not a bad person for that. None of that. So if this hostility that you may have for me is because I mentioned these exact words in another interview I did, that was not me bashing you. That was not me talking down on you. We was on two different paths. Things happened. I managed Prince for a long time. We was on two different paths as far as what I wanted for his career and what he wanted for his career. And it didn't work out. Still my bro. It just happens. So I was not bashing you. We was just on two different paths. You just wanted to create and create for creators. And I thought, based on us saying we're going to turn this into a business, was building a business, a successful business and a brand. And we were just on two different pages. So at that time, I decided I needed to just focus on my Lane Vision brand for me that I had before Lane Vision Media Arts, and step away from this. So I came in one day and said, hey, this is my last podcast. We were supposed to record the Flight 89 podcast. And Dre did not want to do it after that. He says, no, we're not going to record the last episode. This is not how I wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. So that's why a Flight 89 podcast never came out. I was ready to record the last episode. I even said, yeah, let's record it. I even said it numerous times that day. You can ask Prince. Prince was there. And Dre did not want to record it. So, and that's why there was no, like, goodbye episode or whatever. During that time, I even encouraged Dre to continue the pod. That was his thing. Flight 89 was his. I was just somebody he asked to do it with him, that we kind of turned it into part of the Lane Vision Media Arts brand. I said, continue the pod, things like that. He said, no, we're going to, maybe we'll bring it back, after you're focused on whatever. And that was that. Some time goes by, and since I'm not there, I live in Ogden. I have no use for the office anymore. I'm hardly ever there. Dre's there way more than me. So now I'm paying for an office that I'm not using. And so I'm trying to figure out how to turn it into a legit business. Now, the majority of the money we made was not from producing podcasts. It was for the websites we created and the IT service that I was doing. So I found a company that would actually third party all those services for them. We just had to get the sales. So I brought this to Dre's attention. Hey, let's turn Lane Vision Media Arts into this. Selling website designs and selling IT service and other marketing things. Turning it into a marketing business and things like that. And he was kind of hesitant. The overhead wasn't much. It was like $50 a month additional from what we were paying. So it'd be $25 each. And I told him I'd already met with the company. He said, all right, we'll set up a meeting for us. So I set up a meeting that Dre did not show up to. He stated the link didn't work or whatever. I don't know. Me and him had the same link. I was able to get into the meeting, and it just didn't work out. So Dre didn't show up to the meeting. So I continued to meet with the company that day and, get more information. And then I talked to Dre about it, and he doesn't really say anything about the business. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, Dre is not interested in running a business. I'm not interested in paying for an office that we're not no longer running a business anymore. So, and I'm dealing with other things that, in my house, and I just don't feel like I have the money to spend on an office that I'm not using. So I start thinking, what are my options? Could we go just buy out the lease? Or maybe I can get another creative who just wants to create like Dre to take over my half of the lease. During this time, the Young OG podcast brought a photographer over that we did work with. Dre knew him and we did work with, and he was interested in an office. He expressed to me before he was interested in an office. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, I might be interested in leaving. Would you be interested in taking over my part of the rent and, sharing an office with Dre? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. If Dre's down, let's do it. So I bring the idea up to Dre, and Dre is immediately on the defense, what's going on, da, da, da. And do I have a say in this? And I was like, well, you don't necessarily have a say. I'm allowed to do this, but, I'm just trying to see what my options are. And so I'm just trying to bring it up to your attention to see what we can do. And Dre says, okay, well, let's see. How about before we do this, let's see if we can get a smaller office. So I reach out to Ed. He says they may have a smaller office, but somebody's interested in it. I'll let you know. And I was kind of, possibly okay with the idea because it would lower the rent. And I was like, cool. And then Ed finally said no. Somebody took the smaller office, so I don't have any smaller offices at this time. So I'll let Dre know. And Dre pretty much said, all right, let me think and I'll get back to you. I said, all right. So at this point, I have never made any decision to leave. I was clearly just seeing what my options are and if I had any options or if I was going to be, stuck in this office. Because I was never just going to leave Dre and just say, oh, I'm out. My name is on the contract. I can't just leave and make you pay for everything. Plus, again, we're brothers. Why would I just leave you? Then Dre calls me one day. I don't remember how many days past that conversation it was. Yeah, I don't remember how many days past that conversation it was. But one day Dre calls me and he says, yo, you could just take me off the business name and you can move out. I'll take it over. And I was like, what? I was confused because this was never something that was discussed as an option. He was like, yeah, you just take me off the business. You take the business and I'll take the office and I'll take care of it, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, okay. If that's what you want. He was like, yeah, you want out the office, da, 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 da. You want out the office, da 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 da, da and whatever, so you could just leave, take me off the business. And I was like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. So that's what we decided to do based on Dre's idea. So to say that I just jetted on you, no, this is what you wanted to do. I didn't just jet. Now, because I was looking for options to see what my options are, that doesn't mean I was just going to abandon you and leave you. You chose this. Because if I was just going to jet, we also discussed, I had money in the bank. This was during the middle of the month. There was money, my half for next month's rent was already in the bank account. I said, I'll let you keep the money for next month. A whole month that I wasn't. And you said, yeah, just bring me the keys. So you asked for the keys immediately, but then I still gave you next month's rent on my behalf, on my half. Like, if I was just jetting on you, why would I do that? If I was just going to screw you over and dip, why would I just say, and I took the money out of the business account and Venmo'd it to you so you could have it. Even though this was your idea. Like, I could have said, well, since you want me off, you want off the business and stuff, this is my money. I'm keeping it. It was already in the business account. But I still sent you that money for next month's rent. We also agreed, if I was just jetting on you, why wouldn't I take some of the stuff that was in the office and just be gone? I agreed to leave everything in the office, when most of that stuff in the office was purchased off the work I did for the websites and the IT service. Because that was our biggest payout. That's how we bought most of that stuff in the office. But I just said, yeah, we'll just talk about it when we leave, when the contract's up. Still in there. I haven't even said, like you said in your video, your agreement's up. I haven't even hit you up to say, yo, let me come get stuff. Like, there's a whole bar in there that was purchased by my girl. Didn't ask for it back, just left it there. Would I just leave something there if I'm just jetting on you? Like, no, this was your idea, bro. So why would you just say I just jetted on you? I don't get that. Like, it's not true. And if you had this hostility and these issues based off me jetting on you, why did we have many conversations after I moved out the office? Why did me and my girl throw you and your girl a baby shower for your new baby coming like a month or 2 months after I left? Maybe 3 months, I don't recall. We threw you a whole baby shower because we asked, yo, is your girl's family going to throw a baby shower? You said no. So we said, all right, we'll throw you a baby shower. You came out here to where we threw it. Like, if you felt some type of way that I jetted on you, why would you let somebody throw you a baby shower? Like, that don't even make sense to me. That don't make no sense to me whatsoever. Then after that, a few months later, I don't know, maybe way more than a few months later, I had some issues going on that I had personal issues, and I reached out to Dre, and we talked very little. We had one or two conversations over the phone about it, and then he checked on me maybe once or twice with short conversations. And things was cool. Now, if you're mad about an interview I did with the Young OGs, everybody would ask me, you're the one who wanted to keep everything a secret on what happened. I had no problems telling people because I didn't feel like it was anything bad. And and people kept bugging me, so I decided to do an interview with the Young OG, and I answered the questions that was being asked. Is that the Young OG's fault? No. Is that my fault? No. Is that the people's fault? No. It's nobody's fault. But nowhere in that video did I bash you. I clearly stated that the business didn't go right. I do think that you doing the video that lost as a sponsor was bad business. Is bad business mean you're a bad person? No. There's bad business. Like sometimes bad businesses happen by mistakes, or sometimes bad businesses happens by a choice that we thought was right, and things go bad. Like I've done bad business all the time, not intentionally, and I don't believe you did that intentionally. You thought you were creating content, and things went bad. Like doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't. So I was never calling you a bad person. I was never down talking you. I was just stating what took place. So if you're mad about something, what took place, why didn't you just reach out to me? Like I decided to reach out to you when I seen your video, because that's what bros do. That's what brothers do. When they see something their brother is doing or don't agree upon, they get them on the phone and say, "Yo, what's good? What's going on? Why you say this?" Or whatever. And then we could have been squashed this a long time ago. But this tells me that we was never brothers. You just throw that word out to just people you cool with. And when you feel like you're not cool with them no more, it means nothing. But anybody I call my bro, my family, yeah, I'll beef with them or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's still my brother. And we still gonna get right at the beginning. And I'm gonna get him on the phone and we gonna get right. But everything, it's just funny to me, man. It's just very, very funny to me how this all played out. And we haven't, so when I said, I don't know what I may have said in that video, that interview, because that's the only thing that I could think of why you feel some type of way is based on that interview. But in that same interview where I said business went bad, I also stated Dre's a fucking creative genius in that interview. I also stated all the creative dopeness that you did while we were running the business, because you did some dope creative stuff, a lot of dope creative stuff. And I stated that in that video. And when they asked me, would you create with Dre again? I said, yes, I would love to create with Dre again. But would I do business? No, let's keep the business. I even said I would do the Flight 89 podcast again as long as we weren't doing it like on a consistent basis and there was no business involved. Like, why would I say those things if I was trying to down talk you, or if I was trying to bash you, or if I was trying to hate on you, bro? Like, so I don't really get why you would go and make a video and lie and say I jetted on you. I didn't jet. You removing yourself from the business was your idea. You taking over the business, the lease of the place by yourself was your idea. No one jetted on you. So let's keep it real, man. So maybe this video will inspire you to finally meet with me so we can talk and hash this out if we really brothers. If not, then it is what it is, It is what it is. And unfortunately, what I thought we had has to end this way. But I'm hoping, since I reached out to you and you didn't get back to me, that maybe this video will inspire you to get on the phone, reach out to me so we can meet and talk and handle whatever hostility you have towards me, so we can get back on our brother shit. If you calling me brother was real, like you, which I hope it was. But again, if not, it is what it is. It sucks. It's sad. But hey, it's life.